Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review for To Your Eternity, episodes 11 and 12. When I was watching these episodes, I can't remember if I know I had to re-record one because it ended up going missing. That might have been episode 8, maybe? I don't know, I'll have to go back and look. But, oh, God, I'm sleepy. Anyway, Rin comes and asks, Gugu and Fushi, if, they want to come to her birthday party. She does, tell Gugu that her parents are trying to set her up in an arranged marriage once her party's over with. And obviously she doesn't want to. I mean, who wouldn't, considering... And also, it's even worse considering that in the 4 years between, in the time skip, they are still trying to control her life. So, yeah, they have not changed. And I don't blame her for the probably many times she's run away from home because of this. Anyway, they decide to go. But before the party, Gugu's brother shows up. And, Rin was there. No, actually, no. I don't know if it was Rin that he gave the ring to, or if it was the old man he gave the ring to. But trying to talk to Gugu, obviously, Gugu wants nothing to do with him because of how things went in the past. He just wants to, I guess, move on from that phase in his life. And he just walks away from his brother. Probably a little pissed off, but he does. And he gives, one of the two, I can't remember which, the ring that Gugu had left him. Apparently, he never used it. He never pawned it off to get money for food. I guess he must have decided that, yeah, I'm not giving this away. I'm keeping it so I can give it back to him one day, and I'll make something of myself, essentially. And, yeah, I'm trying to remember everything that happens in this episode. Gugu's trying to come up with a present for her. And, like, what do you give to the girl who's got everything? A rich girl. What do you give a rich girl, essentially? Because she can get anything she wants. However, the one thing she wants, you can't exactly go out and buy. She wants to be free to make her own choices in her life. Because up to this point, her parents have tried to make her choices for everything, including not only who she marries, but the clothes she wears. So, Gugu thinks back and remembers, when he saved her from that, stupid log, that she had been admiring the flowers that had been growing there. So he goes and picks one of them and brings it with him and Fushi to the party. Obviously, they kind of got a little out of place, especially Gugu with that mask. I'm sorry, but that mask will make you stand out. And he ends up meeting up with Rin after, or during the party, and tries to give her the flower, and one of the maids tells him not to because that flower essentially is a symbol of when she had gotten hurt. I'm like, when I remember that stupid little injury she got, oh my god, that was nothing compared to what Gugu got when it comes to injuries. And she goes upstairs, and she finds that her parents are still trying to set her up with that stupid arranged marriage, and she outright refuses it, and goes out to the balcony while Fushi's downstairs getting some food, and Gugu meets up with her, and he finally tells her that it was him that had saved her from that falling log that day, and had gotten her that teeny tiny injury, and told her essentially that because of that, I had gotten a big injury myself, and that's why he wears the mask. Before anything else could happen, guess who comes a-knockin'? If you guessed the knockers, you'd be right. And that stupid balcony they're standing on breaks, and he pushes her back into safety from where it was breaking, and he falls. At first I was thinking, oh crap, is this where he's gonna die? Because I had a freaking scary inkling that he was going to die. And I did not like that, because I liked Gugu. I wanted him to continue living. I wanted him to be able to maybe confess to Reen one day, and them end up being married and having kids. Because I know this story is supposed to be about how everybody gets to see death one day, and it's essentially the different ways you choose to live your life and everything can affect it. But still, I wanted them to be able to have that happy life, even for a while, before something happens. But thankfully, he didn't fall to his death, thank God. No, he grabbed one of the pieces of the knocker that was hanging out of the cliff and pulled himself to safety, thankfully. And because of this, the mansion starts falling apart. And her parents end up getting injured, and they have to get everybody out. And Fushi and Gugu try to fight the knockers. Sadly enough, though, the knockers are learning, and because they didn't kill it completely, it's not made of wood anymore. It's made of stone, which means that Gugu's fire isn't going to work on it. At least not as easily, anyway. Because you can heat up rock. It just takes a bit before it crumbles. Or it takes a good hits. And because Fushi has not transformed any in the past 4 years, he has not done any training, and thus is very ill-prepared against the knockers. And the two barely survive their first encounter with the knockers. They think they managed to kill it. However, Fushi ends up taking a hit, and at the time I had watched this, I didn't realize that... Did he lose the bear form at some point? Because I was thinking, why doesn't he transform into the bear? Surely that thing would have would be at least somewhat of a challenge for that thing to handle, because that's its biggest form. But he wasn't transforming into it. So I guess he must have lost the form at some point during the fight. And the mansion continues to fall apart around them as they go. And Gugu realizes that if he doesn't do or I got rudely interrupted there. Gugu sees that Rain is essentially in danger of getting crushed by some dang debris, and he rushes in and protects her. While this is going on, Fushi is still trying to deal with the knockers, and now that Gugu's essentially out of commission at this point, he's gotta do it alone. And after some time, he was actually able to knock the knocker into the water with him, and I guess when it got hot and then hit the water, the thing crumbled. Or let me know the reasoning on it, but before he did that, actually, because I just remembered that this important detail happened before then. We see Rain and Gugu under the rubble, and Gugu is obviously, on his knees, holding up the rubble on his back to protect her. And they get to, I guess, talking because, well, they really aren't able to do anything else at this point. And he finally essentially tells her how he feels about her. And she essentially says the same thing, and she went to move his mask up, and some blood dripped down, and I figured, oh, he probably just hit some of the debris probably got him on the head. It's probably nothing. And she kisses him. While this is going on, Fushi, like I said, is still fighting the knocker, and he somehow can transform into Gugu now. I didn't realize this at the time until I find out. I don't know if I found out. I just figured it was him being able to transform into people that gave him a lot of stimulus, maybe? I think that's what I was thinking at the time before that happened. And Fushi starts freaking out when this happens, saying essentially that Gugu's not dead, and I realized that he only transforms into new forms when the said form has died. I'm like, no, come on. Even now, talking about it after watching it, I don't know when I watched it. Anyway, I was trying to figure out what the heck happened. Because he was just fine a moment ago talking with her. Yes, he was probably in pain because the stupid rubble was heavy, but I didn't think he had a life-threatening injury. Or a fatal injury, I should say. Actually, what's the difference? I guess life-threatening means that you could still be saved. I guess fatal means it's not fixable. And, like I said, he knocked it in the water with, and actually, I forgot to mention this already, but I guess during the time skip, the old man had taken the organ out of Gugu and instead fitted it to where if he slammed the mass down real hard, he could generate fire that way instead of having to rely on the alcohol and the organ. And because he did that, the Gugu form that Fushi's got now can also do the same thing, which is good. So I guess he must have gotten it really, really, really hot before he knocked it in the water, and that's why it kind of crumbled, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that finishes up, and they're working on, making sure there's nobody else stuck in the rubble. And when they find Reen, she's unconscious. But, which, like I said, I don't know what happened between then and when she was talking to Gugu. Did the debris collapse on them or something? And that knocked her out? Because, he was above her protecting her, so he would have taken the brunt of that, so maybe that's what got him? I don't know. But his brother shows up. I guess he had heard the commotion going on and went and knew that his brother was going to be there, so he went to, I guess, make sure his brother was okay, and he came too late. Gugu was dead by that point. And to confirm this, we see Gugu's spirit in like a dream type sequence where he's still talking with everybody like it's normal, like he has a normal face in this. But, dang it, what was it? Fushi not being there or something? Oh yeah, I think it was before he died or something, I don't know. Anyway, he ends up, seeing the spirit of March, because March never moved on, I guess. Anyway, March is there, and now Gugu's there. I don't know if Gugu's gonna stick around with March or what. But, yeah. Anyway, at this point, he's in the spirit form when I said that. And they get back. He sees the others get back to the lighthouse? Was it a lighthouse? I can't remember. It was by a lighthouse, at least, I think. And they, had to break the news and everything. Sorry about that. Anyway, Reen wakes up, and her first immediate thought is to what the heck happened, and goes to immediately check on Gugu. Even though they tell her, not to get out of bed, because we don't even know what her injuries were, besides possibly getting knocked out, and maybe some scrapes and bruises. Because, like I said, he was protecting her the entire time the rubble was around them, so I don't know what happened between then and when they got him out. I don't know. Anybody want to explain it to me? That'd be great. Anyway, she's under the impression that Gugu is still alive. No! And Fushi does not have the heart to tell her. So, when she gets there, he immediately transforms into Gugu. And, like I said, he ends up telling her that he's going to be leaving. And, she makes him promise to come back for her. Because, they had already told each other how they felt. And obviously, Fushi can't really tell her what happened at this point. So he just makes the promise knowing he's not going to probably be coming back. As Gugu, anyway. But after he left, I think Rain had shown that she knew. She knew the entire time. She just didn't say it out loud. So him and, dang it, what was her name? The old lady. Her and Fushi end up leaving, essentially, at this point. I don't know. And from what I've heard, I don't know if someone told me in the comments, or if somebody mentioned it in another To Your Eternity video, but apparently in this whole time, oh no, I think it was in the character bios after I checked the episodes. Oh no, after I finished the episodes and I went to check, his character bio. She never marries. She couldn't marry anybody. Anyway, yeah. Didn't like that at all. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.